Um, no, you're good. Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Well. I'll be sitting in his chair for the advisory committee. Keith Smythe, I believe, is out. I believe it is online. And I would like to call the meeting to order. Well, that being said, let's go ahead and do some quick introductions once again around the room for a brand new 2026. I see a couple new faces here. Once again, I'm Chris Well, Chief Police of Scapa Police Department. I am the vice chair and sitting at active chair for this advisory meeting for today. Going clockwise. Go ahead.
I'm Dylan Keene. I'm Patrol Sergeant for State Police here in St. Helens.
Sean Carnahan, Patrol Sergeant for Vernonia.
Jeff Pritchard, Fire Chief, Scappoose Fire.
Ron Larson, Administrative Sergeant, Scappoose
Doug
Police
Treat.
Department.
Doug Treat, Lieutenant, St. Helens PD.
Brent Thompson, Sergeant, Columbia County.
Nathan Hughes, Tech Manager, Columbia 911.
Mertz Levine, IT Facilities, Columbia 911.
Joe. Oh. You jump in?
Brian Pixley, Sheriff.
Joe Kaczynski, Fire Chief, Pittsburgh.
Good afternoon, Jason McCoy, Oregon Department of Forestry.
Greg Brody, Vernonia Fire Chief.
Joe Thorpe, Assistant Chief Plus Fire.
Bruce Halsey, Fire Chief, Plattsburgh Fire.
Mickey Nichols, CFO. Mary Jo Beck, Office Support 911.
Jeremy Hypes, Executive Director, C911.
Sounds good. Online too as well.
Yeah, we have staff, Chandra Egan, Daniel Hooper, and Kirby Vogt. We also have Eric Smythe with CRFR, Evan Eustace, Jose Castilleja, and Will Steinwick.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. So based upon the attendance, thank you guys for joining us today. I believe we do have a quorum for the advisory committee. For our first action, I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of the October 28th, 2025 minutes.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the minutes are entered into record and have been approved. Going from there, I don't know if we have a list here. We do have a list of committee members and alternates. We could go over that because they may have that available.
I didn't post one. it's just kind of a bookmark to ask if there's any changes to the representatives or their alternates.
Okay, do we have a current list at all, ma'am?
Not with me, I can grab one, but
All right, let's go ahead and do that for the next meeting then, just to
Okay.
clarify that. Does that sound good? Thank you. All right, next up on the agenda is going to be a levy support resolution. I'm assuming that's you, Mr. Hikes.
So at our last board meeting, the board voted to support Resolution 2602, which has given me authorization to go out for a 5-year operations fund pending levy, effective for the May 19th, 2026 election. It would be 29 cents per thousand of assessed property value, which has been the unchanged for voter approvals in 2004, 2009, 2014, and 2019. I'm sure, as everybody's aware, and if not, we have been attempting to get this levy passed 2 times prior to this meeting, or this year. So I do have the official document in hand if anybody would like to read it. It is also posted to the website and was from the last budget meeting. I would like to ask the advisory committee to be willing to take a vote to publicly support this levy as the advisory committee as a whole. So if you would like me to read this document in whole, I'd be more than happy to do that. If people would like to hear it, we can pass it around and take the vote at the end if you'd like. It's kind of up to you in this position.
Yes, I think it'll be good just for, go ahead,
Oh, no, you finish what you're saying.
for public record to actually read it out loud,
Okay.
depending on its length, or we're all aware of what the vote probably is.
All right, so Resolution 2602, resolution by the advisory committee. This is if you were to sign. The Columbia 911 Communications District endorsing the Columbia 911 Communications District to reauthorize a 5-year operations funding on the May 19th, 2026 election ballot. Whereas 911 service is an essential public safety service for our communities, citizens, and visitors, and the Columbia 911 Communications District is the sole provider responsible for answering and dispatching all 911 calls placed within Columbia County. And whereas the Columbia 911 Communications District provides reliable, timely, accurate, and appropriate 911 and non-emergency communication between the public and local public safety responders. And whereas the Columbia 911 Communications District serves as the coordinator and dispatcher for all public safety agencies based in Columbia County, including fire, emergency medical and law enforcement agencies, and provides coordination and communication support for partner agencies such as the Columbia County contingent of the Oregon State Police and the Oregon Department of Forestry. And whereas the Columbia 911 Communications District provides operational and cost efficiencies for fire districts, cities, and Columbia County through the consolidation, coordination, and maintenance of shared technical and physical infrastructure supporting emergency responder communications in both urban and rural areas of the county. Whereas emergency calls for service to the 911 district have more than doubled over the past 10 years, reflecting increased service demands across Columbia County. Whereas public safety agencies served by the 911 district participate in governance, operational coordination, and long-range planning for delivering critical services to residents and responders throughout the county. Whereas the 911 district seeks outside funding to support improvements and enhancements to county-wide voice and radio systems used by public safety agencies. Whereas the 5-year operating levy supporting the 911 Communications District expired 1 year ago, and the Board of Directors proposes reauthorization at the same rate to maintain essential services at a consistent level. Whereas reauthorization of this operations levy is expected to provide adequate funding for the next 5 years in conjunction with the district's permanent tax base of 25.54 cents per 1,000 assessed value. And whereas approval of the proposed levy would reauthorize the operating levy at the rate of 29 cents per 1,000 assessed property value, which is lower than the rate approved by voters in 98 and has unchanged from voter approvals in 2004, 2009, 2014, and 2019. Therefore, be resolved that the Advisory Committee of the Columbia 911 Communications District hereby formally expresses and records its endorsements of the reauthorization of the Columbia 911 Communications District 5-year operating levy as proposed on the May 19th, 2026 election ballot.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
That's a tongue twister.
You did it, you did it. I'll be looking forward to Chief Pritchard. I believe you had a question or a statement, sir.
I have a few questions for you, Mr. Hypes. First and foremost, is this the final version of the resolution?
This is the final version of the resolution.
So it cannot be amended. Okay. Next question is, can you describe, when you say operations of the 911 district, the reason why I was asking about can this be amended, it might be beneficial to, at least for the folks in this meeting, to better understand how the money is going to be used. When you say operations, could you be a little bit more specific on those operations, and what would happen if that funding was not received, and what that would do for operations?
Absolutely. So this 29 cents per 1,000 assessed value supports the district in all functions. So the money is from operations, purchasing, maintaining the radio system. It helps fill the gap between what the base value of our 25.54 cents and what our actual budgetary needs are. Significant amounts of that go to the updating of technology, continuing the maintenance of radio systems, CAD systems, phone systems, and training for the staff. Without the money, there could be potential significant cuts to the organization, which would not continue to provide the same level of service to the users nor the communities. And there's also the potential for the organization having to go and ask for user fees to supplement that loss in levy monies. Now that would be basically us replacing that lost money onto the individual agencies and organizations that we service.
Are the operational funds that would be generated from this levy, assuming our group supports it, would they be also used to purchase and maintain the equipment that we rely on?
Absolutely. So not only does it maintain the current CAD system, but it'll be maintaining the radio system. And hopefully, with the plan in place, we'll actually start replacing some of the integrated radio system and bring it into a more sustained, longer life product.
And as the revenue comes in, does the revenue get spent automatically, or like what is the action of the revenue when it comes in from year to year? Just to better understand it.
We have a budget committee that would actually has direct control over how that money is spent. So with the assumption that we would receive that money in, I believe it will be November, The budget committee would have to sit down and make, we would make recommendations to the budget committee to approve how that money is spent. So there would be money that would be, we could shift money from one pocket to another pocket to help pay for more updating or maintenance of said equipment. There's several people that have input into the process.
And last question, does this group have an opportunity to provide input on how the funds that are collected get used?
The actions of the advisory committee as a whole is to make recommendations to the board for spending policies and so on and so forth. So the advisory committee does have a direct say, or at least recommendation to the actual board on what that looks like. There's also going to be, at this meeting, we'll be making notification that we're going to start that 911 budget and input process, and we'll be collecting requests from the advisory committee for said budget.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you very much, Chief Pritchard. For clarification too as well, Mr. Hypes, this is going on the spring ballot, correct?
It would be the main.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other points of discussion? Yes, Lieutenant St. Police Department. Go ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
Are there any other competing levies that will be on the May ballot that we're aware of? Fire, other police agencies, school districts?
Any fire?
Because I know St. Helens is going to have two.
Yes, I know Vernonia Fire has one. I had heard that you guys were looking at, but I have not had any notification from any other organizations besides this.
Primarily concerned about school districts, if anybody's aware of any school districts that are.
I think Scappoose School District is going to be going for a bond, but I don't believe it's in the the May election. I think it might be in the November.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I just know that they're still talking about it. And that'll be a big one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lieutenant Tree. Chief Bird, I believe you had.
No, I was just answering Lieutenant Tree.
Any other questions or points of discussion at all?
Has the district filed paperwork with the county yet?
The district is working on that filing as of now. The board approved the resolution at the last meeting, so we have the board's approval to go out. We're working on filing that with the county as we speak.
Okay, so as of today, no, nothing has been filed.
It's not officially in their hands as of yet.
In references, Mr. Hypes, for the approval of this levy itself from the advisory committee, is this something that needs to be done sooner or later, I'm assuming, or if we need additional information to have more
The
clarification?
sooner the better, just because it would be nice to be able to, when I go out and do my speaking arrangements, to be able to say the advisory committee is also supported as a body,
Okay.
as one whole body. So the sooner the better. So yes, it would be preferred if we can to come to a decision today. That would be great.
Okay, thank you very much. So, you looking for a vote now or later on towards the end of the meeting?
We can take the vote now,
Okay.
if you're ready, unless people want to take some time to think about it before.
Any other votes? Okay. I will entertain a motion for the advisory committee to go ahead and approve support for the levy for the Columbia County 911 district as proposed and written by Mr. Jeremy Heisen, the district itself.
Second that.
I need initial.
Yeah, he needs
He needs the motion.
Oh,
it was just,
I thought you were giving the motion.
Chair, sorry.
I make a motion that the board, all of us present, support 911 in their upcoming levy.
Okay.
I will second that.
All right. So I have a motion to support. All in favor of the advisory committee approving the CCOM levy as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We're good to go. All right, sounds good. All right, moving on. District updates. Do we have any questions? Can we go ahead and this is Miss Hooper online?
Hello, everyone. Our district update for operations staffing is a big conversation around here. So we are budgeted for 17 positions. We currently have 13 and a half filled. That includes 8 full-time certified, 1 part-time, 2 lead dispatchers, and 3 in training. We did have one released, Davidson, on the 9th of November. He's fully solo and doing great. Our entry and lateral hiring, rolling recruitment has been going really well. We're hitting our 6-month mark this month, and it's proving very successful. So we're hoping within the next year to year and a half that we will be at full staffing, and then we'll be just acquiring a wait list, but we're going to keep the process going. We've been averaging 5 to 15 applicants per month. We had 2 start in December, and they're both at DPSST Academy right now. We have 2 conditional job offers out, and they're in a couple of the final stages of hiring, and we have 3 interviews this Thursday. So all of this is adding up to really good news about our hiring efforts. Our training and certification update, spring training plans have begun, and Kirby's working really hard on that. She'll be collaborating with some of you, and we'll be inviting users to attend. That's scheduled for May at this time. All of our staff are current and in compliance with training and certification requirements. The holidays have happened since we last met, and I just want to thank everybody every year for all the goodies that are dropped off to our center. We all appreciate it. And this year we did something special for Christmas. Our Santa Attempt to Locate radio broadcast actually collaborated with Columbia River and Columbia County Sheriff's Office. They did a fun video that was posted on social media. We are increasing our pub ed outreach. So the Inside 911, Behind the Call, some special district series education and information about not just the history of 911, but also about our district is going out over social media. So keep an eye out for that. We did have brand new recruitment cards that I had Jeremy actually bring in. So if you want to grab one of those on your way out, that'd be great if you could share those in your community, or if you want to lend us any of your guys' stuff. Public records, I just wanted to mention that really quick. So just over the last 2 years, the number of public records requests that we've received and processed has nearly doubled. In 2023, we received 566, and in 2025, we received 950, which really speaks to public education that's going out, or public information that's going out. A couple of questions that came from different users in this group is about our redaction practices, and just want to reassure responders that all gate code key access information, protected information, is redacted from any records. But if there's any questions or concerns about information we're releasing, just please contact me directly. I do want to talk about the upcoming radio work, but I don't know if Jeremy wants me to wait until we get there on the agenda.
Yeah, it's a bigger conversation. I want to get through everything else first, and then we can have that conversation.
Does anybody have any questions, concerns, updates for me for operations? Oh, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Super Reeve. We appreciate it. Nathan, equipment and technologies briefing. Go ahead, sir.
Big chunk of it is the preventative maintenance, and we're going to wait on that. We met with Day Wireless recently, and they've offered all the agencies in the county a big discount on your guys' radio prevention or maintenance. So they are willing to send 2 guys out to your agency all day to work on your radios and make sure that they're all tuned up. Their normal price is $2,720. They're offering each agency for 1 day $1,600. If you want to reach out to them, they're all sitting right behind you. Get their contact info. And it's a great deal, and it will probably help with a lot of the radio issues on your end. The radio issues on our end, we're actively working on, and like I said, we'll get around to that later on in this conversation. Quarry Hill over in Vernonia experienced some water damage. That's all been patched up and fixed. There was no issues with the equipment there. It was all on one of the walls with basically nothing there. We are still working on upgrading CAD. We're still working out a lot of bugs with the system that we have loaded now in our test environment. And we're thinking fall 2026 for an upgrade. It's going to be a major, major upgrade. completely new MDTs. That's going to affect the fire or the police side a lot more than the fire side. And CAD and dispatch is going to be having a major UI overhaul. So it's going to be quite a bit of training for both our users and you guys. The roof was successfully replaced. There was very little damage underneath the membrane up there. And we just finished repainting outside, so hopefully we're watertight again. Any questions?
One, so with the CAD upgrade you guys talking about, is there any sort of user problem with the RMS system that we're trying to put in place? Or that's still seamlessly hook up?
It shouldn't. So you got your RMS is on a newer version of CAD. So we're going to be moving closer to your version.
Okay.
So it should work better.
Question with Bay Wireless, is that portables and mobiles?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
It's two guys for a full day. They'll come to your station and go through all of your mobiles and portables, PM them, check antennas, power out, frequency alignment, and then give you a report, just a basic report, pass, fail kind of thing.
How do we go about setting it up, sir, if I can ask?
Pardon?
How do we go about setting those up, sir?
Oh, yes. Just call our office and you can schedule that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have business cards over there after the meeting if you want to grab one.
Yes,
Yeah,
and if you want, I can always send
I'll
out.
pass around my card.
Thank you. Nathan, I think you also hit on it too, just for the net motions.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
If you want to talk about that, I know that's been a very important topic.
Went through all my bullet points and forgot to read my written notes.
No worries.
So net motion is going to be expiring, I believe April 4th. The cutoff we gave was end of March. So I believe the fire side, after meeting with Pritchard and Columbia River, have an idea of what they're going to be doing on the fire side. I don't know if you guys are all on the same page, if you're going to be moving over to their product or having MDTs through Central Square still. The police side, I believe most of the agencies have some kind of pathway figured out. Not everybody is fully moved over, but they have an idea of what they want to do. Any questions on that? I know I've been hounding all of you guys quite a bit.
I just figure for the room, on the fire side for our law enforcement partners, just so you understand what we're going through. Some of us are looking at a MDT alternative that is called Tablet Command. Basically, instead of using a computer and a cradle point and all that stuff, we go right to the device through a bit of software. We are in a crawl, walk, run implementation Staff Who's Fire phase. We are collaborating with one of the other regional partners, working with Clackamas Fire, who is implementing Tablet Command. And this product, I think, has 95% use in the state of California by fire agencies. So this isn't just like a whim new bit of technology, but at least you guys know kind of what we're doing on our side. I do want to say thanks to the 911 district staff as we have been understanding more of some of the technical challenges in the background, but it's definitely helping us with mapping and other things. So
Unfortunately, it wouldn't fit the needs of the police side.
no.
But it's a very cool product for the fire side if you guys haven't checked it out yet.
Is Scappoose up and running then, Chief Pritchard?
Yes, sir. We haven't done full implementation. We are waiting for our staff to say, why isn't this in all our rigs yet? So we've got it in our first out engine, first out ambulance, and our squad. All the Chiefs rigs are running the Pro version or the Pro license version. And yeah, it's fantastic. Not only do we have the MDT on the unit, but we get a web interface so we can see everything that they're seeing on the tablet sitting at a desktop.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions for Mr. Hughes? All right, Sina, thank you very much, Nathan, for your report. Appreciate it. Going down to the agenda, Director's report, Mr. Hypes.
So just wanted to real quick touch base on some of the numbers for calls of service that we did last year. So just to give you an idea, from July of 2025 through June of 2026, we did 31,863 total calls for service. And then our traffic stops, just for the PD side, since you guys are always interested, that was 4,205 traffic stops completed for our dispatch center. If you guys would like these numbers broken out individually for your agencies, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that for you. And then our overall picture of the system, our activity summary. So law enforcement, you guys were just under 30,000 calls for service, and the fire side, with between fire and EMS, was 6,000, a little over 6,000 calls for service last year for the fire department. So just kind of give you guys a picture of what it looked like for us last year and kind of an overall numbers for you guys. It seems to be rather projected sticking to what we've seen the last couple of years. No drastic increases or decreases in calls for service. So just for some information for you guys. Thank you. Meisner site, we've got the contracts out for review on those with Aries. Emergency management assisted with funding the moving of the equipment from the old shelter to the new one, so we can get the old shelter out of there, which was part of the original contract. Hopefully we'll be working on that shortly. And then radio project update. This all kind of wraps into this new preventive maintenance stuff, so we'll go ahead and kick off this conversation here. So this is this preventative maintenance thing coming up is the first step of what we need to do to have a full picture of exactly what needs to be replaced. We know the whole system's got issues. We know the whole system needs to be replaced from ground up. Financially, is it in our near future? Honestly, I can't necessarily tell you that yes, in the next year or two, you're going to have a whole new system. There is possibilities, there's ways we can go about it, but I can't make you that guarantee right now. What I can tell you is that once this preventive maintenance is done, we'll talk a little more exactly what's going on in these sites, but we'll have a list of everything from every one of these sites that is working, that needs to be replaced, or is past life and needs to go away immediately. This will give us a list where we can sit down and start looking at these and say, I want to spend this amount of money at this site and take care of these, take care of that, get this up, so we can stabilize our system to the best that we can in its current shape. The replacement, in my frame of thinking, is these are two separate projects. There's stabilization and there's replacement. Even if we broke ground today, the replacement of the system is going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. So we stabilize the system, then we sit down and figure out how to replace it from the ground up. And again, there's options out there for that. I think that's a deeper conversation as an advisory committee we all need to have on what that looks like. But for right now, my main goal is to stabilize this system to try to avoid any further losses of equipment, any further down periods of time. So once Day Wireless gets down with all these preventive maintenance at the sites, they're going to provide me a list. I can look at these lists and figure out with the money that I have left, how I'm going to spend every one of these pennies to get the most bang out of our buck on this equipment we're replacing. I don't want to just start shooting from the hip and say, let's drop $600,000 into radios at the sites and not get any payout for you guys, because that's $600,000 that we've just blown that we can't get back. So will it benefit us in the long run? Sure, most likely as part of the new system, but that's not necessarily going to stabilize what we're currently using. And right now, the responsibility of the district is to stabilize what we have until we can put a more concrete plan into place to replace the system for the community and for the users. So anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and jump in. Danelle, did you want to start talking about your IEP?
Yep, absolutely. In this setting, because this is a public meeting, some of the details in our plan are actually confidential, which would include the actual specific time period. So just keeping that in mind, if I don't mention them, that's why. First and foremost, thank you guys. I know that I sent a lot of information out and I requested a lot back. I've about got half response from agencies about their point of contact during the work. I'm going to be compiling that. I'm hoping to have it all done before the 1st. And then I would be sharing that with you guys. During the work, it's really going to be really paying attention to stuff that you wouldn't maybe normally pay attention to. So because this work is moving around the county, We really need to act as a team. And if you hear someone not being responded to or not being able to get out and maybe you're close to them, just whatever it is, just calling dispatch or calling someone that you do know has radio connection to dispatch or calling the cover for them themselves. We all just need to be supporting each other. The best way to do that is actually to limit your higher risk activity during the work while it's being done. If it can wait, it's best if it does. On the fire side, I know that we receive the call, you guys have to go, but maybe don't, re-roof your station or go up on any ladders or just nothing that's not necessary, just because communication is going to be slightly different during the time that we're doing this work. Anybody have any questions so far for me about that? Okay, so we're going to do kind of a threefold redundancy on our dispatching, both on the fire and the law side. We're going to dispatch through CAD, attempt you guys on the radio, push the incident through CAD to your MDT or whatever device, your tablet that you're using, if you have one. We're going to make a phone call to your primary contact. If during any of these windows, if your primary contact changes, I would appreciate if you contact me immediately. I will be here and on site for the duration of all of the work windows to support our staff. We are going to staff up and we are going to have a fire liaison. I spoke with Pritchard and Brody and they've both agreed to combine the time. If someone else is interested and wants to help out and maybe relieve one of them of their window, you can get a hold of me and we can have a conversation about what that would look like and what the roles would be. I did speak with the director over at Oregon State Police Dispatch, and I spoke with Sergeant Keene. So we do have an agreement with them that if any of you need code 3 cover or have an emergency on scene, if you're law enforcement and you need a medic, you're not able to get out and you need to expedite it, you can key up on Oregon State Police's dispatch. They've been advised and they won't be surprised, and they know that they need to immediately call us and we can start our communication attempts. So I have spoken with all agencies except I have not reached Columbia City, Columbia County Public Works, and Oregon Department of Forestry. And I know Jason is there with ODF, so he's hearing this now. They're not going to really be affected from my understanding, Public Works and ODF. But it's still good that you guys are aware of our radio work being done, because one of the days that we're doing work, our own tower is going down. So that actually won't matter where you are in the county. Communication with us specifically isn't going to be happening over the radio. So I'm finalizing this IEP hopefully at the end of this week, and it will be going out to everybody. I've had different discussions with different agencies, and you each have your own unique way of doing things and have systems and capabilities beyond what we use on the daily here. And this is the best location and place in this meeting to bring some of those up. Chief Pritchard talked to Nathan Merks and I about an app that, if he's willing to right now, if he could speak to the rest of the group a little bit about it. I know the fire side is more familiar, but the law group is not.
Oh, I guess that's my cue.
Yeah, it is, Chief, it is.
The fire service has been working with a voice over IP radio system for about 4 years now. It started out as a collaboration between Vernonia Fire and Scappoose Fire. It gained further support from the Fire Defense Board to where a lot of us use it as a backup when we need to communicate or monitor communications when we're away from the district and we can't really see things. We still get our notifications, but we're nowhere near the radio system. This product has several capabilities. One, you can monitor everything either on a cell phone or a tablet. And two, it creates a dispatch console type environment that could be beneficial for this particular exercise and possibly even beyond. In collaborating with the 911 district, the Fire Defense Board, who kind of oversees this, has been more than willing to share this technology with the 911 district, and they are in the process of testing and implementing the console, the radio console software on a couple different computers to make sure that this will work as an alternative. And agencies that are interested, we can build out accounts for the people that need accounts on these specific days to where you'll be able to monitor your respective frequencies. And we can kind of narrow it down to where if all you want is law, great. If you want everything, we can give you everything. That being said, because fire really didn't have the need to be on Law 1 or Law 2, we only had the fire frequencies built in. So we're again collaborating with the 911 district and purchasing the additional hardware to be able to port in Law 1 and Law 2. And because we've got what we call F5 common, it's the same L5 common that you guys use. So you'll have 3 frequencies that can be run through the system. Like I said, through the hard work of the district, we're trying to make sure this will actually work. So I guess moving forward, for agencies that are interested, let us know and let CCOM know who you want. They'll get the list to us, and we'll go ahead and build the profiles in the background. In terms of security, right now there's only 2 administrators of this particular system. So I think there might be 3. I can't remember, Brody, if you're an administrator. But basically, there's just 2 administrators. So from a security standpoint, just like the conversations we've had about TAC, all your stuff is staying secure. Nobody can see all that.
Thank you, Chief.
Any questions?
Sounds like it's going to work where we have cell service. What's going to do when we don't have cell service?
That is a great question. If you have the ability to utilize Starlink, I know emergency management has several devices that are available for use. You can do Wi-Fi calling or radio over IP if you've got Starlink access. Big thing with Starlink is don't park under a tree.
Right, that's satellite viewing things like that.
Yeah.
I first heard about this option. I thought it was great for where we're at, but I was a deputy for 10 years. My next thought is Miss Birkenfeld or Vernonia. You get 10 feet outside the city or whatever. I'm hoping that those in the outside areas are setting up some kind of relay system or a communication system, or working for the sheriff's office here for 4 years. It's the same way. Line of sight works. I don't know if there's relay towers or just relay cars or something like that, but hopefully there's some contingency plans going in for that.
Chief Pritchard, correct me if I'm wrong, but if the radio system is not working, Zello will not work. It's like it takes the radio signal and converts it to a VoIP, correct?
The only thing that would keep Zello from not working would be if one of the receive sites or the radio went down. But on the back end, because everything is digital, anybody who's on the Zello app will be able to communicate. It just may not go through the actual repeaters.
Can I jump in? So when you key up on the phone, it goes to Scappoose station, which goes out through a radio.
That's right.
But it also goes to the internet and back to the next phone over. So there's kind of 2 paths, one through the radio system, one through the internet. So if you have the app and you have coverage, you're still going to hear the other person, even if, the tower covering Scappoose is down. And that's another issue, is once Scappoose is out of service for that maintenance day, it probably won't work unless they can somehow reach us or another tower in our system.
Real quick, just so everybody knows, the way these radios work, they're all backed up on batteries. So Like if our station loses power, the batteries are not going to lose power, and neither is the internet gateway, because that's all on a battery as well. So if we lose power, it's still going.
Sheriff Quickly, sir, go ahead.
So sheriff's office has been using a very similar system called Tango Tango. We have Law 1 and Law 2. If any law enforcement agency or fire wants to give it a shot, shoot me your interest and I can get you guys hooked up.
For me, it wasn't just like whether or not the radios are working or not, it's safety and communication. I mean, class 9 fire, you go out towards the river, go to a house, hop on their Wi-Fi, open your app up, at least you can communicate with each other or something like that. You know, that's what I was getting at. Yes, it's great to have access to the L5, and that's what the goal is, but if it goes down, for officers, it's like us being able to hit a button app instead of like texting or calling or whatever when we're not line of sight for the cars, just that safety factor. So Greg, or Chief Brody, sorry.
I go by both.
Yeah.
And a few others.
Thank you. Yes, the radios might go down, but the safety for all of us is still capable.
Yeah.
That's my end goal on this thing, is got to be aware that rural places are out of luck. I just happen to work in the city now.
Rural places are like for our system, when I was in Amsterdam last year, I could still key up and listen and communicate.
Yeah, Wi-Fi or cell, whatever is what you need. So cool. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, Will Steinweg online has a hand raised. If
Thank you for letting me know. Go ahead. I can't see what it is from here, but the floor is theirs.
Sorry, let me see if I can unmute myself. So I kind of to answer the question about the safety, I've had some conversations with Danelle about possibly setting up human repeaters, especially if the Clatskanie Mountain repeater goes down. That covers a lot of the Miss Birkenfeld area. So in the event during that time that it goes down, working with Danelle as well as Merckx and Nathan to possibly set up a human repeater up on the hill. And we would be, Miss Birkenfeld would be up there, and we can monitor law as well as fire channels from up there. I think if we get high enough, we'd be able to hit other towers.
Thank you. Any more, Jeremy?
And just so you guys are aware, and I think Danelle's made this kind of apparent, this is something that should be happening yearly at all of our sites. And we intend for it to be yearly going forth. We want this plan to be an adaptable, growing plan. So after this is all done, if you guys take notes on feedback you get from your units, different things you tried or didn't try, any of that feedback we could possibly get from you, so that Danelle and the team can sit down and try to envelop that into the next year's plan. We don't want this to die and go away. We don't want to recreate the wheel every year. We want something that we can roll with every year, that she can take off the shelf, plug in the new data for contacts, and have a plan. So anything we have going forth is great. We had a conversation today about Aries and what their capabilities are, and if they're in a position to currently stand in and help us. And we'll do some follow-up there as well to see exactly what their capabilities are and what they can do to help. It would essentially be a human relay as it would be with anybody else. So there is some other stuff at play here, but yes, please keep notes. You know, any ideas you guys have going forth the next year and the year after, we'd love to roll this into an ongoing, growing entity or a plan that we can just pull off the shelf.
Yes, just a point of clarification. So the PM you guys are doing is just going to be essentially an inventory and an assessment of the condition of each piece of equipment. It's not actually going to be fixing, replacing anything like that.
No, not at this point. I mean, there could be some things small things they might come across they can fix immediately while they're on the site. So couplers, those kind of things that they may have some extras. If they can, I would like them to take it out on site if at all possible. But the intention really is to try to get the site down, tested, and back up as quickly as possible. So there may be some of that stuff that happens also. Some labeling of equipment and so on and so forth, just trying to get ahead of some of that other stuff down the road.
Great question. And follow up on that, do you know when we can get a copy of the report of some of when that can be brought before the advisory committee so we can review that?
I would expect by the time we have our next advisory committee, we'll actually have something. I would actually expect you probably to be able to see it before that point. Okay. But at worst case scenario, next advisory committee, we should have a plan in front of us that we can look at. Sir?
With regards to reports, seeing as this is part of critical infrastructure, how public is all this information going to be?
Well, we need to have that discussion because there is,
I mean, do we want the public seeing the exact inventory and every single piece of equipment?
No, I
to
think,
these towers.
as far as-
Just throwing that out there for the group.
then I think you're very correct. I think there should be there definitely need to be some restrictions on who has eyes on it. There's no reason for it to be dangled out in front of the full public view. And we can have, a generalized conversation without specific details about some of that stuff. But we will have a report that we can, at least share amongst the advisory committee and some of the people that actually will be making those decisions on what that looks like going forth and how we're spending that money. So,
And just to be clear, the question and request is not geared towards a lack of transparency. It's geared more towards security. So I do think the public needs to know.
Correct.
Hey, we've got some things we got to fix. But they don't need the actual nuts and bolts inventory of everything.
correct.
Okay.
I agree.
Just to make sure everybody's clear on what I was making the statement about.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Any other questions about what this looks like and the intentions of it? And any questions for Danelle or Nathan? Yes, sir.
Can I jump back in there?
We got one question here now.
Just a comment, emergency management, bringing up the Starlink thing, is there a way to have them at nearby the sites as they go down, just in case they need to use Starlink? That could help with the going over IP for that traffic, and or if, like, just speaking about if we have no radios, the cell communication in certain areas of our county is pretty poor. So it might be where we do revert back to either texting or phone calls. And there's some portions of our county that have no cell coverage or have pretty, so I don't know if there's, if we have the ability to stand up emergency management and move them day to day to each tower area affected, it might be helpful. So
I can jump in. So having a Starlink at our radio sites is not really going to do much for us.
I'm not saying radio site. So if Clatskan Mountain goes down, maybe a radio site on the backside of Mist, because we have okay cell coverage in Clatskan, but there are some portions of Mist that lack cell coverage. So maybe it allows them on the
It might be more
202 highway.
willing to lend you a Starlink for your rig that would cover you when you go to an incident or wherever you're at. I might reach out to Corey about that. It's the event of a major event, something really big. I know Pritchard has a cow that we could probably deploy.
So is that a cell tower type cow, or is that just internet access?
For the record, the technical term is CRD, and it's a baby cow. It is not a full cow. It'll do a 2-mile level of cell phones, but for backhaul, we can go through low Earth satellite, but we also have a Starlink on the device. In the event we can't actually hit one of the FirstNet repeaters, but it is a FirstNet cell system. So as of now, we don't have Verizon SIM in there. So users that have FirstNet, you're golden.
I think capability is what's being misinformed you, what things are actually capable of doing. Nothing can be set up in place of a tower to replace the tower. Limited range on the calf that he actually has, not a calf. So it's like capability. For me, it's like when I was volunteering with Bruce 25, 30 years ago, I'm at the bottom of Beaver Falls, radioing to the firefighter at the top of Beaver Falls, who's radioing to the fire truck, who's then radioing to CCOM and Lifeline. Like, when we talk about this, that's what my brain does. Where do we set up SAR members in certain locations to, like, the whole the phone tree system?
No, I'm saying, like that. I'm saying in conjunction with it. They had the FBI raid out in Clatskan, and they brought a cow, baby calf, whatever. They brought one of those out from. I know that T-Mobile was on one of them, and I know that FirstNet was on another. And is that something that we have access to, and or using? Corey has resources here he's offering all the time. Is there a way to access some of those resources? If we have them, it might be smart to put them in those areas as those towers go down, not through the whole county, but something communication-wise.
Yeah, perhaps an offline conversation about this topic would be good, just to keep us on agenda. But there are several resources that the state has in terms of those baby cows that we can set up. But again, it's FirstNet.
Thank you. And Mr. Springer for Daywise, you had an input?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that our team is going to be in communication with the 911 center the whole time this is going on. If there was a major incident that they determined that we needed to turn the site back on, we would be able to do that in a short amount of time. It's not, you know, we don't want to cause a great impact on you. We know there's going to be an impact, but also understand that our team is not just going to be up there on the mountaintop without communication with the 911 center. So, you know, I can imagine if you had, you know, a major accident, lots of, you know, stuff going on and you needed this tower site turned back on, you know, that'd be at the discretion of the 911 director to direct us on what to do.
Yeah, we're just talking about when things go pear-shaped and we've got worst case scenario.
There's everyday
You
business.
can't get it back
and there's-
online for whatever reason.
Right.
That's what this is about.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, perhaps also you want to talk about the notice of C99?
Yeah, we kind of touched on it earlier, but it's time for working on our budget right now for the upcoming fiscal year. So certainly, as the advisory committee, we're notifying you that you guys do have input in that say as we go forth. I think that having that radio report will give us something more as a group to actually have a conversation about what kind of recommendations we can make for replacement and updating of those sites in the near future. But this, generally speaking, it's just kind of letting you guys know that we're in that phase and we're open to communication from you guys on what we need to be looking at and where some of that money should be spent. But I think the next meeting, we would probably be way more beneficial because we'll have that report in our hands and I can bring you guys some options on what we're looking at and where we can spend that money. So.
That's good. Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Director?
Danelle, did you have something else you wanted to add or?
Yeah, just a couple of final things about the plan. I was going to add what Day Wireless just said, so thank you for that. And then anytime that you're arriving on a scene, if you do have to respond, is checking your capabilities before you enter the house, before you get out of your car, before you take action. If you try the radio and you don't get through to us, glance, make sure that you know if you do have cell service or not. And then what Will shared about the human repeater, if any of your agencies are going to be setting anything like that up, please send me and Jeremy some information on it so that we're aware of everybody's status and capabilities during it. If any of you are interested in getting on the Zello app that Chief Pritchard was talking about, we do need 3 pieces of information and you guys can send those to me. Did you already say that, Chief?
No, ignore me.
Okay. Yeah, you can send those to me and Chief or just Chief, but we, need to be able to get the name of the person that needs access, their phone number, and their radio ID. Yes, we have some of that information, but anytime that we put identifiers into a new system, we need to verify the contact information. And does anybody have questions for me? And does anyone want to have a meeting with me ahead of starting this? Anything here in the group?
I'm sure your phone will ring.
All right. I really appreciate everybody that's worked with me, gave me feedback, and taken my call and listened literally 1 year almost to the day. We did this with our electrical panel work. We staffed 2 different 911 centers. So this is the same, but very, very different. And I appreciate that we are all coming together again. Just very thankful for the group that I work with.
Thank you, Ms. Hooper. Anything else, sir?
And just so we had a radio outage yesterday. Just wanted to touch on this real quick, just to kind of give you guys a heads up. There was, to my knowledge, some work being done at Columbia Heights. And there was an issue at that site with Day Wireless on scene that brought down Columbia Heights. I did receive some texts and some phone calls. We got Day Wireless on it immediately, and they were able to get it back up. I don't know if anybody's got any questions on specifically what happened. Day Wireless was trying to do some work and get it done. From my standpoint, if you guys could just shoot me and Danelle an email before you do work on any of our sites, just so we have awareness of who to contact if something goes down. I mean, we call you guys anyway, but it would be nice just to have some heads up beforehand.
Yeah, so evidently the incident, excuse me, the incident, there was some generator work being done yesterday. And when the power went back on, it tripped the audio limiters and put it in a weird mode. So we immediately deployed a tech out there, basically to reset it, called Merck's, did some testing, make sure it was back up and running.
Thank you.
The only question I have is related back to a request that was made several years ago. When there is a system outage, obviously, there's a lot of things that are happening here, but it would be great if there could be a system-wide email sent to all the department heads or agency heads. We heard sort of through the grapevine that CCOM was down, at least on the south end of the county. But it would help when there are questions. We can, through notification, we can stand up our own internal plans on what we need to do to communicate until we can collaborate with CCOM and go, oh, okay, well, this is actually what happened, or what do we need to do moving forward?
Okay. Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be working with our team immediately to come up with some type of surge suppression or whatever, so this doesn't happen again.
Perfect. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure everybody was in the loop on that, so there wasn't any questions flying around later. All right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So next up on the agenda is going to be the round table. I'd like to entertain a motion to extend the meeting just in case we need to pass 1:15 p.m. Do I have any takers on that motion?
So moved.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second? Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. So roundtable is to includes communication policy issues, interdisciplinary issues or items of interest, effective practice tips, and other comments by attendees. I'll start off and do a quick roundtable once again with this. If possible, I would like to maybe see if we get the bylaws for advisory committee just resent out to everybody, and we can place that on the agenda for next meeting in April for any possible revisions about the bylaws, and make sure everybody sees that too as well. Just for myself, for Scott Police Department, we have 2 people graduating up here in February. Very happy about that. Joining our ranks moving forward, Scott Police Department. So with that being said, if you have nothing really good for the order, let's go ahead and just go around. And if you got nothing, you got nothing. So go ahead. Clock once again.
Yeah, not too much. We also have 2 recruits, but they're about halfway through academy, and then they'll do a post academy, and then they'll finally be up here. So it'll be a minute, but 2 on the way.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I have nothing as far as the Vernonia Police Department goes, but I'd like to make everybody aware that Officer Scott Hanley passed away on Sunday. Wasn't sure if anybody knew that. He worked for the city of Scappoose before he went to the city of Hillsborough.
About 10 years.
Yep. So, if anybody wants to meet with me afterwards, I can give them as much information as I have. I don't have any dates as far as the service or anything yet, but
I could talk about it. So the Hillsborough Police Department did initiate an incident command. I'll be part of that too as well to help with them. The service don't have an exact date, but it will be in West Lynn, I believe. I do have address, so I can shoot that to my law enforcement officers. And like I said, they initiated an incident command and just getting all the information. So I'll forward that forward. So thank you, Sean.
As far as sheriff's office, we're losing one of our detectives, Court Tozier. He got hired back in Alaska, so he's going to be heading there in mid-end February. So we're in the process of backfilling his position, which will then most likely end up in us backfilling one of our patrol positions. Other than that, we're plugging along.
Thank you, Sheriff.
We have 1 open emergency response technician position. Some people know them as single role paramedics. We're hoping to have that filled here in the very near future. And then the only other thing is just want to say a huge thanks to our law enforcement partners for the collaborative efforts on Saturday with the VIP that was in Scappoose. We got to test out a little bit more of the TAC platform and environment. Just a quick update on some of the bigger things we're doing with TAC. We're doing some ongoing conversations with the U.S. Coast Guard, as well as the SURF-P guys, who are like the Army hazmat guys, and doing what they call federation between MILTAC and CIVTAC. But that's about it.
Thank you, Chief.
Got nothing.
We have one graduating Friday, 2 in FTEP, and we have 2 starting on February 10th.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Appreciate it. Always good work with you. Sergeant Thompson.
What he said.
Good answer. I like it. Thank you. All right.
I feel like I already gave my report, unless you guys have any other questions for me.
Good, thank you. All right, going around in the room. Chief.
I'd just say Jason McCoy, Oregon Department of Forestry. So partners, right? Like I'm here as a partner. We're not a paying user. So kind of think about that when we're talking about bylaws and budget input. It's always kind of awkward for me to be voting when I'm not a paying user, but certainly a partner. Talk about unified command and being able to communicate with our partners. Obviously, I think it's important. And then some background. So Meisner, that was a ODF lookout tower. So that is owned by ODF. Another thing I can help with that Meisner site. And then just thanks to Nell, I got the message and I'll be reaching out and report.
Great one. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir, for being here. Chief.
Stable and Vernonia, end of report.
That sounds good.
That's gonna end nothing.
Perfect. Anything online at all as well? Nothing online.
Nothing from Chief Smythe and Columbia River?
He's happy.
Sick, isn't it?
Columbia River will be fully staffed up by the end of April. All staffing, including our day cars and our stations. So that's all I have for report and report for Columbia River.
Thank you very much, Chief. Get better soon. And also thank you guys for being in attendance. If you have any questions from anybody, Everyday Wireless and Trojan and everybody, thank you guys. If you have anything else for the group back there. And then Mr. Height.
Just for me, first off, thank you for everybody showing up for this. This is a big thing for us. We want to make sure we cover as many bases as we possibly can beforehand and get the feedback from you guys after. This is definitely the most well-attended advisory committee that I've had since I've been here, which is well, you can mimic it. You can mimic it. And I appreciate you guys participating. And quite honestly, going forward, we'd love to have this kind of turnout at every one of these meetings. The collaborative effort of the advisory committee is huge for us in how we drive this organization and the recommendations I can take back to the board. So please continue to attend. Please continue to stay engaged. Reach out to us. And I will do the best I can to keep you guys informed on the happenings and get some feedback as we go forward. But really, having you guys all here means a lot to this district and where we're going and the new beginning for the district. So I just want to thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Director. So, all right, roundtable, last but not least, announcements all I have is that we have confirmed our next advisory board committee is going to be on April 28th of this year. Sorry. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, sorry. At 12 o'clock as usual. So, besides that, is there anything else for good for the group? Yes.
Just want to say I have some handouts that support the campaign for the levy, and I'll just put them on the table back here. Help yourself.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate it. Unless there's anything else, we actually made it. I will adjourn the meeting. Close.
Very close. Just want to gavel, didn't you?